This is a wonderful opportunity for me to present a dream I've had for ever since I met Mara 10, 11 years ago. What I want to show you is this is the only sustainable building in the city of New Albany, which does advertise itself in the Historical Center Village as sustainable and go green. And what I wanted to tell you is that, get this to work? But it's that, which one?
The arrow.
Oh, the arrows, okay, got it. This is very important to me as an Ohio State grad with the Ohio State mission it's a land-grant college, as all of you know, established during the administration of Abraham Lincoln. And its mission is teaching, research, and community outreach. And with Dr. Zao and Mara and others in the room, Andrea, I go around the table, Eric, what we have here is, this is a grant-funded workshop as well as a curricular development partnership with the New Albany High School, the people sitting in the center row right there. If it weren't for Ohio State, you wouldn't have this, the 2009 Ohio Solar Decathlon Home. It was at the zoo, but there's a very, very influential person there wanted to expand the polar bear exhibit and wanted it out in 2 weeks. So a wealthy alumni wanted to have it for a lake house, a camp wanted it for a cabin. But the head of the Environmental Foundation Education Association, Glenn Kaiser, said, that's not what this was intended for at the zoo or anywhere. It should be, it ought to go to New Albany. High school Eastland Environmental Program and also an introductory engineering program. If it weren't for Ohio State and its outreach, you would not have the 2011 Solar Decathlon Encore, a replication and a better, higher technology and better design. You'll see this at lunchtime. Just walk out the back of the building, go towards the Chadwick Arboretum, and it's right up there in the hill. It's an incredibly nice facility. And if it weren't for Ohio State and Mara and Dr. Walter, Dr. Kenny Fleming, and Dr. Zao, I wouldn't have the Resch family home, which, by the way, is in the Historical Center Village of New Albany. And the step one is, before you do any of this, you want to check your local municipality zoning and building codes that regulate architecture of sustainable buildings and renewable energy systems. Well, the Historical Center Village of New Albany, its building code encourages 17th century Georgian architecture with double hung windows. I should mention that Mara and I, we spend a lot of time in Architectural Review Committee, and the end result was we got every waiver that was going to be or had to be waived because it was said at the hearing with the reporter present. All what you mean is we're going to turn down the first Energy Star 5 sustainable ICF home in the city of New Albany. That'll be nice on the next day's headlines. So we did prevail. The building code was built for the 20th or 18th century. This is just an article that after a long struggle, we had it approved by the Architectural Review Board. They waived everything, didn't they, Mo? We like, this was mentioned in earlier This is my lot. It's nudged against the nature reserve. You mentioned in the earlier presentations that orientation is very important. Orientation of your home, if you have a house that all the roofs are north-south rather than east-west, you're not going to pick up the sun on the south side very easily. You may notice I have the pointer is here. Yep. Notice I have 20 solar panels here and 10 there for a total of a 30-panel solar array. So the orientation is very, very important. This you've heard about before. You can see here a graphic showing the 2 kilowatt and the 4 kilowatt. This was put up first, then later. And I get SRECs, I mean solar renewable energy credits, as Eric, I believe it was Eric that talked about it, was it? Yeah. I am grid tied. And this is why Senate Bill 221, Senate Bill 310 suspended this is very important. I don't want to be grid tied. I've already ordered a set of Tesla Powerwalls. How many have heard of Tesla Powerwall? Okay, that allows you to be off grid, and when you're at night or during the winter, you store the electricity, which is the ultimate goal of renewable energy. Step 3, Mara covered this very much. Oh, I didn't, oh, okay, there you go. 3 things important. The envelope. Insulate, insulate, insulate. Everything else follows. Then you have to put in minimal energy systems. And we did that, didn't we, Mara? Example. How many here have heard about insulated concrete form? Absolutely a new technology. Do you know that the Native Americans had teepees in the West and what they call long log houses in the winter? Then we went to log cabins, and then we had a saw, and we built log cabins, and then we went to cutting 2x4s or 2x6s, whatever you want. But that's about 170 years ago. For 170 years, we have built stick houses that leak. The insulation problems that Mara talked about are germane. This is, I'm sure most of you in the room have played with Legos. This is a Lego type operation. Notice on the site right here is the storage of what came in to build the house. Look here, this is a wall. See that corner? That's going to be filled with concrete. And notice we have styrofoam. This is, I live in a cooler with some real high efficiency winters. Sort of like building with Legos. Then what you do with your cooler, if you think of, you cut holes in it according to the plans that my architect Mira made. And then you fill it with concrete. You fill it with concrete and rebar. So you can see this. Obviously, you see it being poured into the walls. See that there? And rebar. And then here you are finishing off the exterior walls. Except I don't have a basement, so I have what I call a safe room. I did this storage room that a lot of my neighbors are going to come to my home when a tornado comes. And it'll be like the lifeboat, you know, where you only have so many people that can get in the door. The door's steel and lockable. Not that I would, you know, want to have them swept up by a tornado, but I have a room that's concrete, or I'm sorry, insulated concrete form and a concrete ceiling that it's like a bunker. Whoops. Trying to get it to work. Maybe turn to the computer. Oops.
Okay, so it's from your vision.
Let's see if it works. There we go. Mara just talked about windows. What you're looking at is a set of windows. Sirius is the company. Triple pane. Get this. It's 0.2 insulated resistance to heat and cooling loss. And ordinary windows, I think she said was maybe, I can't remember, but anyway, these are the windows in this home. By the way, the code for the village was you got to use double hung divided glass windows in this Georgian architectural town. At the hearing to get the waiver, we just said, well, we'll be glad to do that if you can find a product on the world market that would have those performance functions as these windows. Oh my goodness, I pushed the button. Ah, there it is, look at that. I have a geothermal radiant heat floor on top of a concrete slab for thermal mass and 6 inches of styrofoam between me and, not me, well in a sense, but I'm in the house, between the house and the earth below it, where is one of the primary losses of heat and cooling. Now, that's 3,000 feet of piping that the heat from the earth goes through. Mara, see if you can get to. Oh, it worked. Oh, all this used to be in the basement. Well, I need to show you. This is, I didn't label it, energy recovery ventilator. I have a very healthy home, air-wise. Mara, what is the exchange rate for that approximately?
It's actually very efficient. It's actually built by a company in Ohio. That's what I like about it. It's manufactured right here. It's it's in the early 90s, which is a very high range. I mean, it's one of the very few around the world that has that level of efficiency.
See, in the wintertime, I'm heating the house, but when it goes through the energy recovery ventilator that keeps my interior atmosphere healthy, it recovers about, 90% of the heat that would have gone out and heats the air coming in. The other things we've talked about, this is my geothermal ground, oops. Let's see. Well, I'm going to just go on in the interest of time. If I can get this button to work. There we go. And then let's go here. And that's my system that was described by earlier speakers. Step 3. There was a graphic, I think it might have been Eric or Andrew, put up about the sun, a nuclear fusion fire 93 million miles away can supply more than the planet Earth needs with energy without nuclear waste or without carbon emissions. This is the installation. You can see the house is now finished. Oops. Try again. Too quick on the trigger. This is my small castle in the middle of a paradise within an 1837 historical village, next to the school campus and a church campus. And I ride everywhere on a big boy tricycle. They call it recombinant with 3 wheels. And that's the result. This is more or less the end of my talk. The result is an energy efficient home. But you know what? It emulates. I studied every aspect of the 2009 solar decathlon building. And other than passive windows at the south, we replicated it with their help. I'm on a steep learning curve, but this person is my mentor. Oh, there she is. Okay. Without her, I would, and she's very active at Ohio State. Without her, I would not have this Energy 5-star home, nor would I have her pro bono help on establishing the 2009 Solar Decathlon building, which there are students in the audience who are designing in real world the east observation deck overlooking a wetland. So I am the protege of Mara, and she is my mentor.